Asad Abbas, let me bring you to the conversation. Mamata Banerjee there, of course, once again reiterating what the opposition has now been saying, that Narendra Modi needs to resign on moral grounds. And of course, that's their approach to the entire situation at this point in time. But today she's coming and saying that I extend my gratitude to all my India partners. We have all fought together, but we did not see that unity in the elections. And clearly Mamata Banerjee was pretty much clear that she said India bloc was my brainchild. However, I will not extend my support to the Congress in West Bengal. But at the national level, I will consider. Now that the numbers have turned around, Mamata Banerjee is saying I express my gratitude and I thank all of our partners and I want more people to come and now join the India bloc. Wasn't this exactly the confused messaging that we've been seeing for the past 3 months?
Devika, as a matter of fact, I believe it was a very sound and intelligent decision of Mamata Banerjee to contest West Bengal alone. Because I'm sure had they shared the votes with the left or they had shared the seats with the Congress, it wouldn't have resulted this good for the Trinamool Congress. And not just that, I was on your show or during NewsX exit poll, Rishabh Saab's show, when I said exit polls are never the exact polls. There's always a difference. And as Rocky Balboa says, it ain't over till it's over. So we need to understand that largely all the pollsters have got it wrong, but we need to understand and respect the mandate of the people. I think when we look at largely the pollsters gave something ulta. You know, BJP was supposed to get the majority in West Bengal.
Let's stick to the point. I'm not talking about the exit polls are done and over with, right? It's done. It's over with. We have the actual results. So why are we going back to what the pollsters did, what they didn't do? Let's stick to the point of Mamata Banerjee today, because she has emerged victorious in West Bengal, coming out, holding a press conference and saying, oh, look, I'm so happy and I extend my support to the India bloc and I hope that others will join in as well. That's the point. I'm talking about confused messaging here, which we've been subjected to for the past 3 to 4 months.
Okay. I'll tell you, Devika, it's not confused messaging. It's actually smart messaging. You need to understand this is how politicians work. Had she not done that, like I answered you previously, she wouldn't have got this mandate from the people of West Bengal. She had to fight. In Bengal, she had to fight alone. But largely, when it comes to forming the alliance and numbers, she has always mentioned that she is with the India Alliance partners. And what I'm mentioning, it is very important to call out the pollsters because they confused India and the world. Saying 300 par, 400 par, all of that.
So to be fair, 48 hours before the actual results.
I'm going to intervene here. Asad Abbas, the best polling agencies in the most advanced, technologically advanced country in the world. You remember it predicting a landslide victory for Hillary Clinton and then Donald Trump won. So let's be clear.
That's what I said.
The polling samples are to be taken with a pinch of salt. When I began my career, nobody ever thought the UPA would ever return to power, including all the veterans, all the analysts, all the pollsters. Here I am, these many decades later, having witnessed it firsthand. The UPA returned to power with a Congress getting 200 plus seats, which nobody thought was possible then. But I want to just put a premise here, Devika. The premise here is an election has just been held. Narendra Modi has just won that election. What do you mean he should resign on moral grounds? If you had defeated him, you would be becoming Prime Minister. So we are now being sucked in because we are being told Narendra Modi should resign on moral grounds. On what basis? Mamata Banerjee has 30 seats, the BJP has 240. Akhilesh Yadav has 36 seats, the BJP has 240. The Congress has 99 seats, the BJP has, well, 150 more seats than that. So moral grounds, I mean, this is all hubris. The bottom line is Mamata Banerjee has done well. Akhilesh Yadav have done well, the Congress have done well. They've got some takeaways. They've got Amethi back. They've got some plus numbers in UP. They've got 40 plus seats. Ajay Rai has got 4 lakh votes in Varanasi. That's something to tom about, certainly. But they've not won. You have to win or lose. And is Narendra Modi's mandate a bit diminished? Yes, he is. But he's won the election. So let's, the moral ground thing is all, don't go for all this bunkum.
Okay. Syed Asad Abbas wants to reply to that. We can't hear you.
I think when we look at the majority front, single largest party undoubtedly is Bharatiya Janata Party. But also, Rishabh Saab, we need to understand that there is over-dependency of Bharatiya Janata Party banking on Modi ji. Undoubtedly, he's a Vishwaguru and one of the greatest global leaders that we see today. The fact is, Modi ji is the strength and the weakness is piggybacking on Modi ji. We need to understand that price rise, inflation have been issues here in India's voting. And the last point, yes, you're absolutely right on the front that alone Congress are not even 1/3 of what BJP is. But we need to understand from a 400 par, not even a 300 par, now merely coming down to 240 seats, it is a sort of a defeat. It is a moral defeat.
No, it's not a defeat. It's a win.
But
Okay. I will give you the example. I'm sorry to interrupt, Devika, but I'll give you the example. If India, let's say, is taking on Zimbabwe, okay, today in a cricket match, and we don't win by 10 wickets, we only win by 5 wickets. Yes, the top order needs to introspect that why they got out in the early overs. But India still won the match. So yes, it's not been the performance that Narendra Modi should have wanted, would have wanted, the BJP would have wanted, but a win is a win. What do you mean by moral defeat? I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you why it is. No 400 par, no 300 par, not even 272 par.
But
Sayyid Abbas, if Rajiv and Indira were around today and were told that the Congress has won 99 seats out of 543, I don't think they would be calling it a moral victory, for sure.
Congress is no match, sir. I concede to you, Congress is absolutely no match. I'm sure the BJP has got more than double the seats of what the Congress party has. But I'm only saying, when you do a messaging, 400 par, 300 par, and you're not even to be 272 par, that
I understand your point, but you also then agree that the election was in fact about Narendra Modi, and it's not about now Rahul Gandhi holding this press conference and saying that, look, I thank everyone for coming out and helping us save the Constitution of India. All the institutions were endangered in India, the Election Commission, ED, CBI, media, courts, everything was under pressure from the government, and look, we've come together and we've saved the country. Had you formed the government, that would perhaps make a lot of sense. But that's what I'm saying, that even the opposition has, since the beginning, it was their agenda to defeat a Narendra Modi. Not once did they say that we will form the government or that we want to form the government. In fact, they're not even saying that right now. Rahul Gandhi is still saying that we have to hold now a bunch of meetings and figure it out in those meetings what is going to be the way forward. So even till this date, there is no clarity. The India Alliance partners, in fact, ideally should be meeting tonight itself. Why exactly? What exactly are they waiting for tomorrow? I'm not quite sure. But I want to bring in Sumit.
Absolutely.
Okay, Syed, I'm going to bring in Sumit.
Absolutely. Devika ji, you're absolutely right on that. I'd say you definitely hit the nail on the head. The fact is, you need to learn from the BJP on this front. Had it been Amit Shah, he'd have been a driving force calling out all his alliance media partners and getting the SOS meeting.
Okay.
This is where a single largest party has
all right. Okay,
power.
I want to get in other people's perspectives as well and what they've heard from the Congress party right now and from Mamata Banerjee. Sumit Peer, what do you make of some of the statements that are coming out, especially for a Mamata Banerjee? Like I said, credit to her that she's won West Bengal, and it's been a major victory for her. But for her to now today come out and say that I'm, I extend my support to the India bloc. What do you make of that?
I think Devgaji, a couple of points. First of all, if we look at our TV screens, BJP 241 and India Alliance all put together, Pura Vipaksh Milake 233. Even Pura Vipaksh Milake is less than BJP, and Modi ji should resign. That exposes the hypocrisy of it. All Vipaksh got together cannot still cross what Modi ji has got. It's a Modi ji's mandate. Modi ji is winning 295 seats as an NDA. It's a pre-electoral alliance, and that has won. Okay, it didn't get 300 par or 400 par, but it is almost at 300. So there's no question of moral victory. There's no question of moral resignation and all. That is all figment of imagination. The challenge here is that even if Mamata Didi does well in his state, whereas a person who has done well all over the India, is a person who has done more seats than you all block put together, and still the person should resign. Right? Still the person should resign. This talks about the hypocrisy and frustration. They have not been able to make it. I mean, why is this? Why are they rejoicing with joy? It is NDA which is going to form the government. Modi ji is the next Prime Minister of India. He will be sworn in as a matter of time. Is there a quest in the opposition who has a better consolation prize? There ko 2 color pencil mile or mere ko 3 mile. Is there a participation certificate which is given? When it comes to elections, you have to win or lose. The winner is Modi ji. The mandate is from Modi ji. Yes, he talked about 400 par, but he's hitting almost 300. 295 is the number of the NDA. So where does this moral victory and where does this all come in? And what is this alliance? When Kejriwal says,
yes, I need to bring in other people.
When Kejriwal says that this alliance is not permanent. right? And Mamta Didi up till 2 days back was saying, I will not come to Delhi, I don't want to be seen with you. If you are forming the government, I will support you from outside. Now today, I don't know where does this euphoria come from, and where does this illusion come from? You have to resign. What is resign? Why should a Modi ji resign? What is so? What is there to resign? I cannot fathom this thought. What do you mean by Modi ji moral?
Okay.
What is moral in this mathematics?
Okay,
Mathematics mein morality kahan se aa gayi?
Okay, Gautam, 1 second. Say this, Subhas. Gautam Mukherjee was speaking when Mamata Banerjee started a press conference. Gautam Mukherjee, bring you back into the conversation. I just want to understand from you as well. Now, this whole question of a moral victory versus a moral defeat, what does this really mean? What is this new narrative that we're trying to set?
Well, you know, if you're asking me, this is the usual claptrap. When they lose, they call it a moral victory. When they lose, when somebody else wins, they want him to resign and call it a moral loss. I mean, it's rubbish. The fact is, they've lucked out and done rather well. And that is as far as it goes. Now we shall see what they do next.
Absolutely. And we're expecting the Prime Minister, in fact, to be at the BJP headquarters at 7 o'clock. That's the information that we had. And we will, of course, be expecting him to come in there. But Rishabh, just trying to understand from you as well. This, like I said, now Rahul Gandhi, of course, the Congress party is very cheerful today. And rightly so. They've done better since last time. However, for them to also now come and say that there has to be that this is Narendra Modi's defeat and it's a complete disaster. Does that really make any sense given that the numbers are in fact with the NDA? What exactly are they trying to prove to the population?
Let's just be reasonable people and call it for what it is. Okay, if we be straightforward, because elections are now over, we have to get on with it. We have to get on with life. So some people are going to be thrilled that Narendra Modi and the BJP have been cut down to size. Others are going to be disappointed, heartbroken that why not 270 for BJP. Let's put it all aside. This is the result. It's going to change by 1 or 2 seats, but not by much. Okay, we are done. Okay. So here's the bottom line. The bottom line is that in a class of people, you had a few people who were not performing well in their exams. They have done better. They were getting 40%, now they've got 50% marks. Do they deserve a pat on the back for their improvement? Yes, they do. Should they come up and say, yes, we have done better, okay, in physics, chemistry, maths, we are proud of it, okay? But the person who was getting 90% has come down from 90% to 80%, okay? Should that person be disappointed that where did I lose the extra 10 marks? Yes, that person should be disappointed. But the bottom of the line is he's still the topper of the class. Okay, now this is just straightforward logic. So yes, a Narendra Modi and the BJP has not performed what they would have liked, and honestly all they would have liked was 272 for the BJP. The rest is all irrelevant because mathematically, constitutionally, that's the only figure that matters. Okay, not having 272 is a back of the mind concern for sure, but they are forming the government. So should a Mamata Banerjee get credit today? Absolutely she should. Should Akhilesh Yadav get credit today? Absolutely he should. He's done something remarkable. Okay, whether he's got lucky, whether there was a wave. I mean, Mamata Banerjee clearly had a wave in Bengal. Yusuf Pathan has won. I mean, he's beaten Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary not by a margin, by 60,000 votes. Okay, this guy is not a Bengali. He's got nothing to do with Bengali. He happened to play a few cricket matches there and he's been para-dropped. So this is a Mamata wave in Bengal. She should be feeling thrilled. Akhilesh has done better than his own expectations. He should be feeling thrilled. The Congress should be feeling upbeat. But bottom line is, from failing marks, they have now got into second division, and they are saying the guy in the first division is not the topper, but he is. What do you do with that? Bottom line.
Rishabh sir, I've been enjoying my day with you, sir. Absolute wits are the best. Completely agree with you on that front, sir. Absolutely. I think it's laying out the table there. Akhilesh done well, Mamata Banerjee done well, Congress numbers done well. Also, let me tell you on your show, I absolutely do not think Modi ji should resign. I think those people in the opposition need some Atma Chintan before they say that. Modi ji deserves to be a third time Prime Minister, and he will be. Nobody can take away about that. Because without Modi ji, even a BJP would be difficult to even do a doso par. We need to understand. Give the due credit where it's belong. And of course, the results are all out there. We can extrapolate as much as we want, or even the opposition. But the fact of the matter here is that politics cannot be taken for granted. This is one of the most unpredictable elections that I've seen. Even I was swayed by the exit polls. I was also thinking 300 par.
Yes,
but nevertheless, the mandate of the people we need to accept. But I don't think, one of the panelists made a statement that lucked out in politics. No, sir. There is nothing called lucked out in politics. It's hard work. Modi ji had to do more than 200 rallies to get this figure. Opposition leaders were on ground. There was a very, very hot, summerful election. And winning this is absolutely no joke. And kudos to all the politicians.
I can say this election was not Ram Bharose for sure. For anyone.
Absolutely. Faizabad was shocking. Ayodhya, we saw Samajwadi Party winning. Absolutely right, sir.
Absolutely.
So today the people vote
right.
on unemployment, price rise is an issue, like me and Rishabh Sahab mentioned earlier.
And that is something perhaps for the
issue.
BJP to now introspect. Where exactly did the strategy, in what states were they placing their bets, and where exactly did it go wrong? Himanshu, but of course, like I said, that is for the BJP to introspect. But if you were to then take a guess and just shed some light on that, what do you think maybe went a little bit wrong in terms of just helping them reach that majority mark on their own? Like I said, at the end of the day, one has to accept the numbers that are there. The numbers are very clear. Prime Minister Modi is coming back for a third term. That in itself is historic. He will go down in India's history books. However, as far as getting that single party majority is concerned, where do you think they possibly went wrong in their strategy?
Well, I think I would put it very, very bluntly. They have to introspect within themselves. They have somewhere down the line, as the figures indicate, they have somewhere down the line disappointed their core voter which did not come out to vote. And that is what is reflective of this election. Narendra Bhai would first thing he will do is watch this. That's those figures, Where did they miss out? That introspection starts there. And it looks like the core voter of a BJP, who has been voting for BJP for quite some time, has stayed away from voting this time. And that is what has resulted in this loss of 30-40 seats. Last time around, if you see their vote share and other things, and you compare it with the seats this time, the vote share being higher, widespread, but seats being lower. Now that very clearly indicates the core voter in their concentrated area has not gone out and voted for them. Okay. Their losses, if you see, the turncoats, last 3 days, last 5 days, last 3 months, those who have come in have got the ticket to fight. And those people are not liked by the core BJP workers. So there is a resentment of a core BJP worker which says, for 30 years I fought against this man and now I have to go and vote for him. Instead of that, why not I skip voting?
Okay.
So many places that has happened.
Okay, all right. Rishabh wants to make a point.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick point. I don't know about the core voter. Here is what I think happened, okay? The difference between Narendra Modi's BJP getting a single majority is UP and Bengal. That's the difference. Everything else is cancelled each other, balance each other out, okay? You can't win 10% everywhere. You'll win a few more here and win a few less there, okay? So that's elections. Yes. So the difference is UP, Bengal. In UP, one thing has happened.
Maharashtra.
Yeah, Maharashtra also, one can say that, it could have balanced itself out. You did better in Andhra, you did better in Odisha. So the chunky difference was the maybe UP. 10, 12 seats in Bengal and certainly 30 plus seats in UP. That's at 42, you are at 283. Okay.
Right.
So what is the difference? That in 2014, there was an overarching Narendra Modi factor effect wave that transcended all other kinds of politics, caste politics, everything else was transcended. That overacting effect of Narendra Modi this time around has fallen back into the normal divisions of Uttar Pradesh, which has delivered fractured mandates for eons up until what happened in 2014. So UP has gone back to its pattern and Akhilesh has benefited from that pattern for sure, and he has been the principal player, and I think he is the one who's really re-energized the Congress in UP. I don't think they've re-energized Akhilesh. So that is the primary thing that has taken place, which has taken away a large chunk, and the BJP has not been able to give confidence and guarantee to the people of Bengal that voting for the Bharatiya Janata Party directly benefits them. They've taken the safer option, the person you know versus the person you don't. That's what they've gone with. And that's the difference between the rest, of course, is just for us to have conversation.
Okay, Priya Sehgal also with us in the studios. Priya, just want to understand your perspective. As Rishabh was also pointing out, in 2014, a very clear Narendra Modi wave. 2019, also a very clear Narendra Modi wave. However, after 10 years, do you feel that somewhere when the BJP now sits to have a conversation about what really happened in terms of the certain seats that they've not managed to win this time around, do you feel that somewhere a conversation also has to begin as to the ground leadership and the ability to deliver the Prime Minister's vision on the ground and the sort of leaders that you're putting on the ground, and whether they have a connect with the people on the ground as well? Is there a reality check and a realization there for the BJP that simply fighting elections on the name of the Prime Minister is not going to be enough after 10 years? You have to put out faces, candidates and people who truly can connect with the voter on the ground and can convince the voter that we are the right people to take the larger vision of a Narendra Modi forward.
Well, Dr. Devika, your question itself has the answer, you know, that after 10 years, you have to change the formula. You can't keep repeating the formula year after year, election after election. This was the time where the opposition for once took the initiative, re-strategized the way they contested the elections in terms of, you know, the narrative. They didn't make the personality of the Prime Minister an issue at all. They refused to engage in this Modi versus whom debate. Rahul Gandhi took a step back. Congress fought the lowest number of seats ever. So it was a very well-planned opposition campaign versus a BJP that was still, you know, we keep saying that the Congress doesn't and the opposition doesn't know how to reinvent. Well, I don't know whether they've reinvented or gone back to the old rule book of playing caste politics, but whatever it is, the BJP refused to reinvent. They were playing the same formula, वही cut and paste. पहले भी मोदी, now also Modi. It doesn't matter अगर कांग्रेस का आ गया BJP भी मोदी के नाम पे जीतेगा. That has not happened, and that had for a particular reason. One, of course, the candidate selection. B, the impact it had on the RSS and the cadre. The cadre is not really going to be sitting and voting for a Congress leader whom they had just defeated in the last election, and who has got the ticket over the you know, priorities of their own Congress BJP workers. They are not going to be celebrating that person and you know, going to be working very hard for them. So that last mile connect that was supposed to be happening with the candidates and the party workers did not happen. So that hasn't worked in the BJP's favor. An overwhelming narrative, you know, there was no, we kept saying na wave nahi hai, or there was a Modi fatigue or whatever it was. You know, people couldn't, it was too esoteric an election. You couldn't pin it down. You know, usually we have Modi is the issue, or Pulwama is the issue, or you know, corruption of UP is an issue. This time there was no such one big ticket issue from the BJP side. Congress actually for once played it smart. They made a non-issue an issue. They very smartly picked up the canard of the constitution and made it an issue. You know, and BJP, it tried, but unka ek jo campaign tha, ab ki baar 400 par came back to bite them, because they say, why do you want 400 par? You just need 270 to rule. So you need 400 par because you want to do something big. Something big will be constitution, and they've already done 370. So you know, and they're already talking about okay, we have an agenda for the next 100 days. So the BJP fell into its own marketing trap also. You know, this is a government election is fought on narratives, not just candidates. So in the narrative trap is where the BJP fell, and it was its own trap of its own making. It fell a victim to its own hype. If they had not said 400 par, I think this number is pretty decent for somebody who's coming for a third term. Yes. It's a very decent number. BJP alone has more numbers than the UPI, than the India alliance. You know, one party, one Prime Minister Modi still has more numbers than the entire alliance put together. Then why is the alliance celebrating? Because you made it 400 par. You said ab ki baar 300 par, 400 par, and you know, great thing. So they are only ruling by your benchmarks and saying, hey, you haven't made it, so we won. So at the end of the day, you fall in victim to your own hype, as they did in West Bengal elections when Amit Shah said 200 par. So, okay, you know, BJP should also take a lesson from its own rhetoric. Okay,
Rishabh, what do you make of that assessment as well? Would you agree that also there's been some chatter about how there wasn't an overarching national issue this time around to really keep the voters concentration and focus on the elections. There wasn't some big issue, and in fact we also used to discuss the fact that a lot of the steam into the election only gained momentum after the campaigning began, and certain promises came out in the manifesto, and suddenly there were speeches about, there was a re-emergence of caste politics and reservation politics and wealth distribution. All of that only started after the campaigning began.
I'm going to answer this in two ways. The first is, there is a fundamentally important concern that we have to now address, which is a reality check for all of us, that just because somebody gets government schemes, just because they get a house, they get a nalka, they get an Ujjwala gas connection, if you just look at all the government schemes, you've done the math, okay? 250 crore, 350 crore touch points, okay? So there have been families who have got 3 or 4 government schemes. You can tell in UP, not all of them have voted BJP, okay? So that's one thing. That emotion still matters. The other thing I've already mentioned, that there was an overarching phenomenon. But the second part, which I wanted to ask the question, I think at this point of time, whatever decoding is going to happen and whatever analysis is going to happen, and the BJP first does decoding, okay, trust me, before they start celebrating. I honestly, firmly believe that Narendra Modi as Prime Minister is still in a different orbit. He is now above this. His agenda remains intact. He has got enough to pursue that agenda. And I don't think he's worried about, at this point of time, what happens if Nitish does this and this, that. I think he's going to carry on with his agenda, and he's going to move on as normal. So I know it's in a moment where the opposition has clawed something back and they feel Narendra Modi has been cut down to size, and in many ways electorally it's going to be some irritating maths for a lot of the party workers. But the bottom line is, in the agenda, for a person, I don't know, 5 years from now, is going to be 78, 79, whether he feels that he's afraid of or got something to lose, I don't think so. I think he's going to carry on like before, perhaps at the peak, not at the trough.
Okay, all right. Sumit, would you agree with that assessment then, that at this point in time, the BJP will be looking at this, of course, as a clear victory, and the fact that the mandate of the people is still with them and along with their alliance partners, and therefore some of the vision and the agendas and the promises that they had made prior to the election, that's something that they will still be able to deliver on. They're not really worried about some of the big ticket agendas that the BJP is now come to be known for.
I think if you look at the person Narendra Modi ji, he is a man who has to do what he has to do. You cannot tame Modi, you cannot control Modi, you cannot cajole Modi, you cannot neither threaten him, neither can you push him to a corner. He will do what he has to do, and people have to fall in line. You see, if today it's a mandate for Modi ji is the next Prime Minister, and it's 3 times in a row. Yes, he didn't do 400 par, but he's at 300. Almost he's touching 300. So that's not too bad. And still his individual score is more than a combined opposition put together. That's again the reality of the life. So Modi ji will continue what he has to do. Yes, he has to fine-tune his little bit ways here and there, which he may or may not be comfortable, but he knows how to adjust. He knows how to do his ways. There is no way this mandate is going to impact his vision, impact his action plans, or going to tame him down. That is not the characteristics of the person. Neither anybody should expect to do that. Yes, there will be some minor adjustments he has to do here and there, but the vision will continue, the mission will continue. The mandate is for Modi ji. At 295, the mandate is for Narendra Modi. You cannot take it away from him. And there are no consolation prizes. Either you win or lose. If Congress is happy, Devka ji, कि भाई I have doubled my seats, then and they are, Rahul Gandhi is celebrating, then I should stand up and I should clap, for whom? Arvind Kejriwal, 400% increase in the seats, 0 se 4 seat. So by that logic, Kejriwal is the biggest hero. From 0 he has got 400 seats. So absolutely, it's the numbers which matter at the end of the day. It's not the percentages or the deltas. Here we have 295 marks. Numbers we have 241, which is more than 233 Modi ji alone. So what do we, after 10 years, if still this man is going rough and tough and winning, what do you say? What is this consolation prize? What is morality, immorality? Mathematics and morality are oxymorons. There's no morality with mathematics.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.